Cincinnati Bengals had a solid 2025 NFL draft. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan. We're going to break down each of the picks and then provide our grade at the end. But before we do that, Ryan is getting married here in a couple of weeks. So send him an early wedding day present by hitting that subscribe button, tackling that bell, and even leaving a like and a comment. Let us know your thoughts on the Bengals draft. And Ryan, that being said, let's pull up the draft here. So just 6 picks overall, just their exact 6 picks, 17th pick in every single round, so to say. But in the first round, Shemar Stewart, edge rusher from Texas A&M. He was a guy tested out really well in the combine. Then got Demetrius Knight, linebacker from South Carolina. Then Dylan Fairchild, offensive guard from Georgia. Then another linebacker in the fourth round, Barrett Carter from Clemson. Then in the fifth and sixth rounds, you got Jalen Rivers, Miami offensive guard, and then Tahj Brooks, running back from Texas Tech. And so I think the Bengals definitely came in obviously with a mission to focus on the trenches and the front seven overall on the defensive side of the ball. That's just where they targeted. I think they got overall good value just with the few picks that they had. Shemar Stewart, I think he's going to be a guy that fits that system well and super athletic to go across from Trey Hendrickson. I like the Demetrius Knight pick as well, as they do have Jermaine Pratt, but definitely I think had some areas where they needed to improve on in a linebacking room as a whole. So I think there's a lot of good competition from there. Brian, what are your thoughts overall on this Bengals draft?
Yeah, I mean, I like most of what they did. Shemar Stewart was one of my favorite first round edge rushers. Just the overall athleticism you give them to a defensive coach and just be like, here are elite tools. Go make something. Like, go figure out this puzzle. And he had some of the pressure numbers that you would like to see. Like some of the pass rush win rate numbers that you would like to see, just didn't translate into sacks throughout his career. So getting that sack number higher, I think, is going to be something that's fairly easy for a defensive coach to do, because a lot of it is still there. He's still a little chaotic with his hands in and out of each rep, but I think that's a good pick. Demetrius Knight Jr. is a uber athletic linebacker. Dylan Fairchild was where I felt like that was a bit of a reach. I had him as like a early to mid day 3 guy, like fourth, fifth round. But with that being said, with the guys that were on the board at the time, like, I don't fault them for really taking a chance on a high upside player, just because he had really good core strength. He was, first off, if you haven't watched his high school wrestling, the dude was undefeated as a high school wrestler, and was a monster.
Yeah,
Like he
he's a
like
mauler.
80% of his matches were pins in wrestling, like, which is just crazy. And it was it was fun to watch him on tape. He has some hand placement issues and some footwork issues, but his wrestling background and core strength gives him an advantage in when he gets put off balance. So I like those picks. I was listening to a podcast last night while I was editing some of our videos, and a guy was talking about the Bengals draft. I think it was Mike Renner from CBS, but he
Mhm.
was saying, like, this is like the ultimate upside draft. He's like, a lot of these guys need some development, but if they all hit, like, these are all really high ceiling players at their position. They just all need that development. So I think that's very true with this class. Shemar Stewart needs development. Demetrius Knight needs development. Dylan Fairchild needs development. But they all have elite tools,
Yeah.
kind of going forward.
Well, and that's what I think too. If I look at the Bengals as a whole, it's like they need some of these young guys to hit because they need these guys
Yeah,
to be on rookie contracts and be cheap for the next 4 years. Because I mean, they've spent so much money on Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and rightfully so. I'm not saying that that's a
yeah,
wrong decision in general, because you go look at what these guys are able to do. But then they also need to go and get a young, healthy offensive line that can protect Joe Burrow with a lot of upside. They also need to really improve that front seven as a whole, because, yes, you have Trey Hendrickson. He's probably going to be the odd man out. He's probably not going to be with the team next year once his contract is done, unless they somehow find some more money and can move some more money around, to create cap space. But um, I think that they really needed to then just give him some help this year, and I think they found that with, just to your point, just a lot of super athletic guys.
yeah.
And there's gonna be a lot of big upside, to your point, that to Dylan Fairchild, if he can develop and just be that mauler of a guard that Joe Burrow can rely on, then that's going to be great for them as well. So I even too like the Tahj Brooks
Yeah.
pairing as well. It's like because they Chase Brown's like the number one guy now, but they do still have Zach Moss. They even actually re-signed Samaje Perine, bringing him back. But I think long term, Tahj Brooks though is going to be a good compliment. I think to Chase Brown and what they offers could be a good 1-2 running back tandem. Hopefully not too much. Chase Brown's on my dynasty team, so want to keep him, have a lot of touches overall, a lot of PPR catches as well. But in general, though, when I look at this draft, it's like even to outside of the 7th round pick, but like no movement whatsoever. It's like when it's our turn to pick who's the best player available, who's high on our board. I just think this was a good average draft. Like I'm
Yeah.
giving them a B. I think they got good value with guys that they were there. Could that like what I think what makes it average though, then also then the downside there are some pretty serious floors on some of these guys as well. But to your point though, it's like they got some really high ceilings as well.
Yeah.
They're able to develop. So I it's hard for me to look at to see how did they like how this is going to fully impact their team as a whole because I maybe Shemar Stewart might start. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But a lot of these other guys are going to be backup developmental pieces that will come get some playing time. But I still think the crux of the 2025 season is going to be is can they just slowly keep on developing? Can they stay healthy? Can this offensive line get together now? Can this defense just be average? If this defense was average last year, they would have won so many more games.
Yeah.
The defense sucked at all. And I think it's
Yeah.
one of the things too is a couple of the guys that they drafted that were defensive side. Smart Stewart will come in, but how big will his impact be early overall? Like, will he have a Jared Verse type impact, or will he take some time and a couple of years to develop before we really start to see that big game changing play? So, if he has a Jared Verse like impact, look out because Trey Hendrickson on one side, Jamar Stewart on the other, really take a lot of pressure off the secondary. And I think this team really could be something. Well, they obviously could be something next year, but I think could get back to their potential
Yeah.
Super Bowl winning ways.
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought it was an average draft also, like, they took players where they should have been taken. I'm not gonna fault them for not having a 7th round pick just because it's a 7th round pick. And so I like, my average grade in this draft class was a C, so, that's what I'm gonna give the Bengals here is a C. I thought they
I
did
like
a
it.
good job of, drafting athletic talent. Now it's up to the coaching staff to go and develop those players and see what they can get out of them. So
I like it.
let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on what you thought of the Bengals 2025 draft class. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you have done differently? Done that. We'll see you guys next time.